Sure. Let me see. Yeah, so Quandrix is the blue-green RAM and draw card college. There is a theme for getting to 8 lands. And even without that, like there is a lot of big payoffs for having a lot of mana. So the standout card here is the Apprentice, which is the Apprentice that draws you a card when you can trigger a Mage Trap, which is way better than all the other ones. Like the other ones give you +1/+0 or some random things, and this is like draws you a card. And
But
because
if you say a land.
Yeah, a land.
Oh yeah,
But that is
yeah.
is worth a card in this archetype. So.
No, especially in this format. But I mean, just so that people don't get this.
No, definitely. It's a good point.
Yeah. Just to clarify, yeah. And you have like all these big spells that you can use the mana on, and very likely you can splash a color and to like cast other like big spells in other color. For example, Timur is probably going to be a very popular choice because of the big Prismari spells. So another thing is you don't have a lot of removal. So either you have to bounce them or you have to fight them. So if you have to fight them, you want bigger creatures or you want things with Death Touch. So there's like this green-blue flying Death Touch thing that can use for like fighting, and maybe you can like lower their power so you can survive the fight or something like that.
And I think a couple of the spells are not fighting but punching, right? It's called when you deal the damage. Bites.
Yeah.
And I think especially the 1/1 death touch that you refer to is very good with bite spell, right? It's like a death touch damage. Okay, your turn. Yeah, I like it. Okay. Let's see. Do you want to dive into an archetype? You build a Quandrix one? Yeah, you did.
It's not mine, right? Is it me?
Yeah, Fractal Tribal one. Do you want to go into
Fractal Tribal. Oh, that's the one I have? Yeah. I can talk about it, yeah.
Go.
Yep.
Bring it on.
Yeah, so this is basically the Biomathematician deck. So there's a little bit of ramp and some good creatures in the early drop, and the main power comes from this like Biomathematician. I can't really say it properly, but anyway. And ideally you want more than 2, right? You just keep casting this over and over again, and you just make a ton of fractals. Other standout cards in this archetype, let me see. So the
I was laughing reading the Lepidolo, of course, comment on Honey Mammoth. Elvish Visionary mounted on a Honey Mammoth.
Which card is he even referring to? Oh, Bookworm. Oh yeah, that's a good one. Okay, we'll get to that one later. Yeah.
So interesting. This one doesn't play Bookworm. Yeah, it has a little bit of RAM, but the goal is to flood the board with fractals and try to punch through your opponent. So all the fractals don't have evasion. So hopefully you can get one of these either bounce spells or the serpent that give your creatures unblockable, or maybe just like crash through and hit them for 16 in 2 turns or something like that. This is what the archetype that can make good use of the golden ratio, because like your fractals are like 1/1 at first, and the second one would be 2/2, and so on.
Yes.
I think that's probably just it. Like Serpentine Curve also does that for you. Like you make one, the first one is maybe 3/3, the next one will be 4/4, and so on.
Yeah, I think that's a very good point. I think this card is hardly playable outside of this, but if you make a lot of fractals, this is definitely a card that might be.
Yeah. Actually, this is because I plan to build 2 decks for each archetype, and I didn't build one for Quandrix based on my innate laziness. But I think if I built, this would be exactly this sort of build that you are showing here. I think that this looks pretty neat because I see 2 versions of it, and one of them will be like low curve, nothing, and super high mana curve, and then there's the second one that's sort of like mid-range, and I think that this one looks pretty sweet for the mid-range one.
Yeah, it looks very good. I like it. Okay. Want to go quickly to an example of the ramp one?
Mine is strictly ramp one. Or do you have more?
Not sure. This is a rampy one. And also, of course, Pawel, give me a sec.
My cat is complaining.
Oh, I thought that was you thinking that I was slow. Okay, there you go. There you go. Oh,
Oh.
wow, our ramp ones are similar, eh?
Probably.
Like, this is yours. Mine. Wow. Yeah, we fronts. Okay, this is yours. Talk us through it.
Wait, where is my? I can see something wrong on the screen. Oh yeah, there you go. So I think, and I might be wrong, but I think that the most important card in Quandrix is the 1/1 Death Touch Drake.
Oh, I thought you were going to say bookworm. So I was like going here with my mouse, and then, oh no, wait, we're talking about the one.
No, yeah, I know, this is my hashtag hot take, but
Hot take.
yeah, but I think that basically because this deck wants to spend most of the middle game ramping to 8 lands, it needs some way of surviving till then. Now, you can let in early creatures, you can use some life as a resource, but if they start showing up with bigger things, a 2-mana thing that can kill anything and block is exactly the thing that you want. So this is your wall. This is the thing that stops them from attacking while you can focus on your ramping. And you have quite a lot of ramping there. I mean, you can play your Eureka Moments, you can play your whatever the 2-mana thing, you can play your Field Trips into Environmental Sciences, and basically this way you can ramp your 8 mana because that's what you want to get.
Right.
And then you get to your Bookworm range, then you can get into your make an 8/8 fractal range, and you can stabilize because these are your honey mammoths, as Lepido Luoco quite astutely observed. So I think that this 1/1 with Death Touch is going to be absolutely crucial for you to survive to the moment when you do Bookworm, which is what you want to do, but it's not the most essential card. Because, let's be honest, you don't get to draft Bookworm in your deck. You can still be happy with the 6-mana make an XX Fractal, or you get to 10 lands, you're quite happy to get Fractal Summoning and make an 8/8 yourself.
Right.
It's not going to be as good because they don't have Trample, they don't draw a card, they don't get new life, they don't have a recursion, but it's going to be alright. You have also some good rares. Also, I mean, I think this is for this particular deck is the best home for the red spell. That's for 8 mana, deals 5 and 3.
Yeah, I know
Because
which one you mean.
You can easily get 1 mountain into your mix with Environmental Sciences and then basically then you just clean the board because this thing kills everything that it touches really. So yeah, that's how I see it. And you know, I will still put Biomathematicians because they allow me to survive early.
Right, and they're just this is just a very, very good card, right?
In this deck, it's a good filler. Like it's a good rate filler. Let's put it like that.
It doesn't have synergy with anything you're doing, but it keeps you alive, and it's just 2 blockers for the price of 1.
Exactly. And because of the fractals that I want to play late in the game, I also want to play the 4/4 that gives trample to all my square creatures, basically.
Right. Awesome.
So that's one thing.
Yeah.
But as you can see, my 3-drop pool contains quite a lot of spells that will allow me to learn. And I put only 4 lessons, but I probably in this deck I want to have as many lessons as possible. I want to have a broad range of them. I want to have a choice because I want to play my Field Trips to ramp myself. And Field Trips have learn, and I want to use that learn in sort of toolboxy way. I want to have answers to everything from that.
Yeah, like it.
Yeah, but I think, but you know, I mean, of course, there's some super powerful creatures in this, in this particular color combination. That the student that draws you cards, that's just insane because it will dig you into your threats for the late game easily. I think that the hybrid guy, what's his name?
Like there are these different cycles throughout all the colleges, right? And for some reason, the I was going to say Simic, but I'm not. I'm going to say Quandrix. Quandrix one is like good in every cycle, right? The cultivator,
Yeah.
so the one with the hybrid mana, insane. The student, insane. As we already said, the apprentice, best of the bunch, right?
Yeah.
I mean, how many good gold uncommons are we going to give like this color pair?
What's the pledge mage do?
The pledge mage, it's a 2/2
spell
magecraft
sorcerer.
+1/+1, right?
So it's a spell gorger weird,
It's
yeah?
a spell
Basically.
It's not that good. I don't
No.
think so.
That's the only one that is maybe a bit below rate. But Quandrix Cultivator, I think this card is just so good.
Right.
So good.
It's a 3/4/4, which is below
Yeah.
rate, but what's it going
Which
to do
ramps
for
you.
you? It ramps you. Yeah, it gets a land and you can play it out. Very good. Rika
No,
Moment
I'm
is a
really
discard. Neilthorn Drake is good. I mean, Biomatician is good. These gold cards, man. Wow.
And I put as a rare, I put the troll that becomes an 8/8 when
Yeah,
you have.
we can look at that one. That's nice. As long as you control 8 or more lands, it gets +5/+5, so it's 8/8.
Like, look, I mean, of course, any rare is going to be good in that spot, but
Right.
this one, just because it's plays together with your synergies, I think that's nice to put those.
Yeah.
And I don't think you care that much about the other side of it, but
No,
yeah.
agree. I think it's good to highlight the colony and the runner because I'm very happy to see included those.
Although, now I think of it, changing all your creatures into bookworms for one turn is not such a terrible ability.
Yeah, it enters untapped indeed. Oh yeah, the land enters untapped of the cultivator, you mean? Yeah, that's sick, huh? For base, blah blah blah, put it onto the battlefield. Yeah, it doesn't say.
But again, I mean, here I see an archetype and I see all cards that contribute to one plan, which means that maybe it's not as versatile as Witherbloom is. I probably won't be able to draw two very different archetypes from here. But I think that it will support more than one player on the table. And I'm pretty sure that at least in the beginning, it's going to be very, very needed because everyone is going to jump on that archetype in terms of drafting it. Oh. I think lots of people will want to do that.
Like a few words about Colony and Runner, because I think we've seen cards similar to these in sets. Like there was this blue drop rogue, I think, that you can could give unblockable, but you had to pay like an amount of mana dependent on the amount of rogues that you had in your deck. Do you know which card I'm talking about? It was like a blue rogue that you could make unblockable, and I think in Call Time there was this Yeti that you could give unblockable if you paid the snow mana and something. I think both are like worse versions of this card, right? If we assume that you're going to get to 8 mana, like rather consistently, I mean, getting +1/+0 and being unblockable, like without any cost.
I think that it's a decent blocker as well in the beginning. So you're not going to cry if you lose it on block and you trade with something. But if it survives till the late game, and if you draw it late, it just becomes a 3/3 pinger. While you can clog the board downstairs with the big beasts that are dumb and don't have trample, for example. Seafloor Skulker was great.
Yeah, that was the one. But this one is better.
Yeah. I think Seafloor Skulker was better because it could one punch in the right deck. It hit for like massive amounts. It hit for like 6, 7.
Right. But I think Runner is just going to kill your opponent, like without any cost, just by tapping it, basically. Okay. Third Colony also reminds me of a card like we had these green 2-drops that you could buff somehow, and I think here again the buff is just free, right? You play out your 8 land and it suddenly has +2/+2. It's a mana 4/4. It's early game. And it's in the late game.
And this is exactly the philosophy I have of it. I mean, I want it as an early blocker to kill things so that they survive till the late game. And if, God forbid, for the opponent, it survives till the late game, it will be for sure 4/4, which is a decent stat line here.
Right. Yeah, I like the build. See, you included Cultivate as one of the better archive spells, I think, for the deck, right? It's a clear
include. It's not unreasonable. No. The chance of getting to Cultivate is exactly the same as the chance of getting any other uncommon.
any thoughts on search here? Just a fine card, and you probably have a lot of lands.
It's a damn good card. This is a deck where, depending on the number of lessons, I might want to play 18 lands easily.
Yeah, I think so. I think so too.
Because, your spell to card ratio will be skewed by the fact that you have so many extra spells that you get from your library.
Yeah, fully. And I also like that you summoning here, right? It's a 5 mana card, and with this type of deck, you don't have any problems paying the 5 mana. So I like.
I don't foresee it. And the 5 mana is also because you play Field Trip on turn 3, and on turn 4 you have 5 mana. So it's a natural progression there.
Nice 1-2 punch right there. Okay, cool. Go back to the slide deck. Or any last thoughts on the?
No, I mean, I would be happy to play this deck
yeah, me too.
If I got it in the draft.
Me too. And I think that's the idea behind the archetype skeleton, right? It's a reasonable draft deck, and it's also one that you're happy to play.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I want to achieve in the end, which I think I failed in Lorehold. But it might not be completely my fault.
I think most of the cards, yeah, we mentioned all of these, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah.
Obvious.
I think Eureka Moment we didn't tell too much about it, but this is exactly why I want to have those 1/1 Death Touchers. I want to make sure that I can play this kind of spell and not to die because I have this 1/1 Death Toucher that kills anything. Can you imagine how painful it must be for a black-green player when they play the 5/4 on turn 2 by sacrificing a creature, and you play this, and they're like, all right then.
GG, bro. Scoop them up.
I mean, they still maybe get some stuff from sacrificing, but not that much.
No. The aggro, the idea of being aggro quickly goes away then. Yeah. Okay.